So I've just left everyone. After work, we just went to our local for the summer and probably the autumn as well, because we're going to be working most of the time on the site just across the road. So yeah, just had a drink in what is our local. But my meal is booked in, as I said before, Middleton Bell. So I'm now going to make my way there. Obviously, I've had a little bit of a freshen up, but I'm still in my work clothes because nowhere to change. So I'm gonna just find somewhere to get changed, and then I will go to the pub. It's a beautiful evening, so I'll sit in the beer garden until my table's ready, and I'll have the food, and hopefully have a nice evening. But as I said before, there's a bit of history in this pub because, like I said, my dad was born in the village, and my great grandfather is buried in the churchyard. I think that's quite a sad thing, really, that we live our lives and do all the things that we do, all the things we enjoy, and then after a while, we're just nothing. We're just forgotten because, like my great grandfather, he shares the same name as me, but I have no idea who he was, what he was like, what he did, or anything. So, yeah, I find that kind of a little bit sad, really, about what we do with our lives. So, really, the thing that I've always maintained and what I try to say to my children is you live your life doing as much good as you can, just make other people happy, and just enjoy everything that you do. And then when you're no longer here, you're just hopefully remembered as being a good person. And that's it, really. So when I'm coming up to the village of Wesselton, so I've just left Darsham. Darsham was the last pub where I stayed out. So Wesselton has got two pubs. I think it's the White Hart, which is the one I used to prefer, but kind of for one or two little reasons, gone off that one. But the other pub, which everyone used to talk about, the Crown, always had a reputation of being really expensive. So I kind of avoided that one, really, just because of that. And I had some work done on it a few years ago, and I went in there for a drink when I was out with a group of friends, and I thought it was really good. I really liked it, so it will be on the list of things to do. And yes, I'm now looking at my camera, and there is a huge crack in my windscreen there. Thank you very much, sir. So while we're sort of driving through Wesselton here, we will see this again when I actually stay at the pub. So in a moment you're going to see the pub where I used to go when my children were smaller, because they've got a really lovely beer garden right in front of you there, the White Horse. Got a lovely beer garden, and just when they're passing, which I can't turn my camera around, there's a really nice little pond where, again, when my children were really young, we used to sit there sometimes, feed ducks and things, but they're a bit old for that now. But this is the quaint little village of Wesselton. Like I say, we will have a wander around here. We'll have a little stop and look at a few bits and pieces of brickwork when we stay, or when we go to the pub that is now just on the left here, the Crown. So that is a very well-known and established pub there. It's a lovely bit of brickwork. Yeah, there's a few bits and pieces we're going to see. Anyway, so drive out of Wesselton, and the next village is Middleton, which is where we're going to be having our meal tonight. So now coming up to Middleton. Let's go over this little river. Just as we come to the bend up here. Here we are, Middleton. Middleton in Suffolk. And I think when I was really young, I came out here to see the lady who we all used to call Auntie Mary, but she wasn't. I think she was my dad's auntie, so probably my great aunt. And I was only young, and she had a little kind of wooden shed outside, just a little kiosk, and that was her toilet. So, and obviously, I think she was one of the last people to have the old-fashioned outside toilet. But like I said, there were a few people from the Songers who lived here. Just coming up to the little village green, as we are now, and these houses just on the right. My dad's uncle Bruce used to live there, so there's quite a few people in there. But this is the bell. This is where our food will be tonight. And I've got to find somewhere to sleep. Pretty sure they wouldn't really allow me to sleep in the car park. And there is a church with a very, very unusual spire that you don't normally see in Suffolk. So there's the pub. I think from what I can remember, my dad telling me that his Uncle Bruce, or cousin Bruce, I think it probably was for him, I don't really know, used to live in one of those, I think. And there's a church. We'll have a quick look in the churchyard and see if we can find my great granddad. You can see it's a really quiet little place. I wonder how many people sit on them. And look at that, the old water pump where everyone would have got their water from years ago. Or if anyone's interested, you've got open gardens on the 3rd and 4th of June. Right, we're gonna just have a little wander. See, I always said that Suffolk cottages are rendered and thatched. These are all pan tiles. Anyway, we'll have a little look in the churchyard. Have a look at the church as well. We always look at the church. So what have we got there? Well, I would say the stonework on that bottom arch got into such bad repair that that's just been rendered. belfry up there. They are just a normal Gothic, but you can see that the centre post and a bit of the tracery there is done in timber now. Oh, sheep, the old natural grass cutters, and 3 black ones. It's a bit unusual. Anyway, it's a bit windy. So we'll have a look inside. I don't think I've ever been inside this one, but you can see a Norman arch there. All that lovely carved work on that inner ring. Superb, and just looking at the sort of charms as well. All the work in doing that, just carving them out. Fantastic skills. Well, you can see the chancel ceiling has been redone. And years ago, all the walls would have had paintings on them, which you can see here. And there's just a remnant of a picture there that you can't really make out. But obviously to take the white line wash off could obviously disturb anything that might be behind them. And the reason everything got like lime washed was because when William Dowson, he was the how should I say, he was the chap that Cromwell employed to come round all the Suffolk churches and remove anything that had an image or a face on it. So all the walls, when they had like pictures of Jesus, disciples, they would have painted over them so that they wouldn't have been damaged. But by doing that, they lost them anyway. And just here, where I'm standing in the nave, and this is the chancel, there would have always been a rood screen across there. And they invariably had lots of carvings of images on them. And Dowson obviously got rid of all of those. And if the windows had pictures of people, they would have all been smashed out. So everything you see in churches nowadays is basically newer. And if they're colourful like that, they are probably Victorian. Because some of them will have faces on them again. But Dowson wouldn't have left them, he would have taken them all out. And this little place here where they would take water, that's called a piscina niche. So not a very impressive church, because lots of churches have all the hammerhead beams and everything on show, but this is all like semicircular vaulted. You got some 15th century windows here on the drop Gothics, which is kind of a standard thing that they would put into the older churches through the centuries. And just a little normal It's a Gothic arch. A lot of people call that a lance arch simply because of the size of the depth, sorry, the height of it in relation to the actual arch itself. But that's Middleton Church. And as I said before, out in the churchyard, there's my name. So we'll see if we can find it. So from what I can remember, it didn't really take a long time to find it. I was out here like 2 summers ago. So now I've said that, it probably will be quite difficult to find. Because I always thought that it was over there somewhere. But then I came round somewhere around this area and I saw my name, which did kind of like freak me out. But you got to remember that it's a really old gravestone. Here we are. Look at that. Came right to it. Don't know if you can see that. Robert John Songer. And died October the 29th, 1940, aged 72. Same age as my dad. And he was married to Ellis Jane. There we go. Robert John Songer. A bit weird seeing your own name on a grave. So, just come out the back end of the church. So we'll just walk down back to the village. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I absolutely love Suffolk. We've got what I consider the best pubs in the highest concentration. So where I had my stop before at the Fox at Darsham, that's only 3 miles away. And one of the ones we're going to go to after this one is the Wesselton Crown, and that is only literally a mile away from here. And we've got a few other ones dotted around, and then we've got many more a little bit further away. But we're going to sample the food of the Middleton Bell tonight. And this is where we are. Yeah, Dunwich. A bit windy. Dunwich is another one that we're going to look at as well. Just look at that cobble work. It's not even cobbles, it's like just a shingle really. That's a very, very small village. Hard to believe my dad grew up here. Anyway, I think it's time for a drink. So just sitting in the beer garden to the pub, and so far some lovely people in there. Just had a chat to some people who recognise me from work. The only downfall is this is the best ale they've got. which I'm not a great Adams fan, and a lot of people rave about Ghost Ship. It's okay, but it's the best I got, so I'll enjoy it. And then after I've had this, I'll go and have my meal. So my table is in the corner. Let's see what the food's like. So I am going to stink. This is garlic mushrooms. So just had a really nice meal in there. So place has gone even quieter than what it was before. And yeah, it's just really nice. And the fact that this has obviously got some Songa memories in here, although there's no one around to remember them, for me, it's quite significant, really. You know, so my dad was alive. It'd be nice to have brought him back here. It's quite hello. Yeah, the sunshine's made sure that not everyone enjoyed that, but now it's got a bit darker. How are you lot? How are you? Nah, I ain't got nothing for you, I'm afraid. Hello. I think I've upset all these. Yeah. A little bit noisy. Hello. I think you'll all go away when you realise I ain't got nothing for you. You are noisy. Anyway, the van is there. I'm not really thinking that's in a great place just there. I think I want to go and go a little bit more stealth-like. We'll see. Saturday morning. A lovely day. So that's where I was. Should have had my window open a little bit more, I think. Steamed everywhere up. But yeah, lovely morning to get to the workshop. Carry on with that wall. And waking up to a sunrise in Suffolk.